Guys, welcome back. We are down here in the office. It's another day of selling things on eBay, and this was the end of our biggest week ever on the platform, which was pretty insane. We sold so much stuff, especially at the beginning of the week. We had like 150-day orders, and we consistently had like 40, 50 items going out every single day. Today I went and I pulled like 60 items, I think, so they're all behind us. We got to get those packed up. But I just came back from Mississauga where I met an old friend and supplier who's given us stuff before, and we picked up a whole bunch of video games. I dropped those off at Val's place, grabbed some stamps, some things I needed for shipping, and we're back here now after lunch to get this stuff packed up and shipped out. But yeah, overall a very successful week. We've implemented a whole bunch of different things as well as listing tons of stuff and doing it consistently. We've added some other things to our eBay store that we've been testing. I've made videos about them before, and specifically I think I had a video maybe 5 or 6 videos back where I talked about the things you can do to actually increase your eBay sales and conversions. But by implementing a whole bunch of this stuff, we really saw it pick up, especially towards the end of the month. So I'm very excited about that. It did lead to a lot of sales, which means we have a lot of stuff to ship out here today. We're going to go through it here in a second and get it all shipped out. So, I mean, it's nothing crazy. We didn't break any records, and it's kind of just normal stuff, but definitely a good amount of stuff for this weekend in terms of sales. So I'm very excited about that. A couple things of note. We start over here with a PS2 Slim that I think sold for 40 or 50 bucks loose with the stand. Maybe it was even 60. I don't know. The price will be on the screen right now. We sold this WF, or I think it's WWF, No Mercy for the N64. Sold for like 55 bucks, I think. I think we could have got more if we held out, but it's not about getting the top dollar for these items. It's about moving them quickly. So we sold that guy. It's been here for a while, but it was only just listed recently. A couple Toys R Us limited edition minifigs. I bought these for $3 at Value Village. I think we sold the pack or the pair for 30, so that was not bad. Rogers remote, nothing exciting here, 5 bucks there. Wii Sports, surprisingly $18. That game's been going up in price, so that was good to see. Whole bunch of loose stuff. In fact, there's a Zelda in there. I think there was a Mario Party. Yeah, Mario Party DS. Not too crazy up there. A couple other random things. And then just a good variety of games overall there. So, and even a couple movies. You guys will see those selling. And this is for the video game store because we've started listing movies to there as well. So that's always exciting to see. Blue sticker. And there's very few of these left because blue sticker was the way I used to organize inventory like 5 or 6 years ago. And it was when I first got into selling video games, I would put a blue sticker on the ones that were listed. I put a green sticker on the ones that were tested. And I think anything without a sticker, I'd still have to list. It was just when I had one shelf, I had like 30, 40 items. There's probably only a couple of these left in the store. And any that are left were probably not actually listed way back when because we have no listings that are 5 or 6 years old. I think our oldest listing is like 2 years old. So either way, maybe they were relisted a variety of time. There may have been an error in the listing or they were taken down. But this was one that would have been an original, which is cool to see it sell. There's probably only a couple of those left. So very interesting. We've got a good variety of stuff here. I've got a lot of work. I don't even think there's any multi-quantity orders in here. So these are all individual. So it's going to take a little bit of time here. Okay, guys, well, I just wrapped up packing and it didn't take too long, probably just over an hour for all this stuff. These are in really small bins because I left my big bins at the unit, I think. So anyway, that'll be fine. We'll just carry them in. But those are all of our letter mail, stamped items. These are all the parcels on this side. And yeah, not too bad at all. A couple FedEx orders, a couple Canada Post stuff. It should be really easy. So not too bad at all. Again, just over an hour to pack all that stuff. So I'm happy with the progress that we made here. And I need to actually still add the stamps to all these guys. But other than that, we're done. Well, guys, it's the next day now. All that stuff was sent out. I did just get back from the unit and a haircut, as you can see. But we did make a couple more sales I wanted to show you guys. So I'm going to roll a clip here that I took at the unit of some items that sold that I just went out and actually sent to Val's place. He's shipping them out. Guys, I'm just at a unit, but I pulled out some orders from today, and this is a Wednesday, so these orders are not necessarily strong in terms of quantity, but man, do we have some high-priced items going out. I don't think, actually, we'll just go through these individually because I'm not sure which one sold for a lot, but Tony Hawk's Proving Ground for the PS3, Need for Speed Carbon for the 360, Child of Mana for the DS, Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock for the Wii, My Name is Earl. I think that was like a $13 movie, which is nuts. We got Code Realize for the Nintendo Switch sealed. We've got Battleship for the DS, Warriors of Might and Magic for the PS2 Pinball, Hall of Fame. We've got Call of Duty 4, Assassin's Creed. That one sold, I think, for a bit for the DS, DJ Hero 2, and then another movie here, Yours, Mine, and Ours. Anyway, some really expensive titles there, as you guys saw, and I was really impressed to just see how many of those kind of like over $10 games have been selling. They've been doing very well. We have a lot more really good games entering the store here in the next few kind of weeks. So I'm very excited to see how those perform as well. Anyway, I'm going to drop these off at Val's. I got to go pick up some stuff from him. He's going to deal with these. and we'll get them shipped out. But yeah, that's the stuff that sold. Again, nothing crazy, but there were some good items in there that sold for quite a bit of money. In today's video, though, specifically, what I actually want to get into here is doing some refurbishing. Unfortunately, I'm still behind with the refurbishing. I've got a backlog of things that need to get out. Got a bunch of movies, a bunch of DVDs, a bunch of video games. They all need to get refurbished before we can list them. So that's today's goal, to get that all done. We're going to see if we can do it. There's a big pile of stuff here, but we're just going to start. Let's start off strong here with what I have finished, which includes about 10 titles, and as well as a couple titles I don't even think needed refurbishing, but they're sitting there. The office is a bit of a mess at the moment. I really need to go through and clean some stuff up. I've got stamp garbage. I've got bubble mailer garbage. We've been shipping so much stuff. I've been so focused on getting everything out that I think I've been lacking a little bit in keeping everything clean. So that's something that I want to work on, but I'll do that while I'm refurbishing stuff. Anyway, the idea here, and I think that's empty. We did just order more office labels for the Dymo. But the idea here is to go through all of these guys, get them refurbished, as well as this big stack of DVDs. We don't normally refurbish DVDs, but these ones were a little rough, and we've been selling them pretty well. We're trying to transition all of our DVDs from the other store over into this store. These aren't them, but we're about to do those. So I figured I'm just going to go ahead and refurbish these all for a minute each versus just donating them again, because we can make a little bit of money in there, and it'll also help us hold over some listings until we get that stuff over. So we're going to do all those. I wouldn't normally do that, but we're going to do it today. Also have a Game Boy here. We listed this a little while ago in the draft bank, but we never actually tested it. Sometimes we'll put things up in the draft bank and then we'll test them after the fact. Just to get them out of the way. Then we'll go through and test them and see if they work before we list them. This one never actually got listed, so I need to go through and put some batteries in it. I know it does turn on, but I don't know if it plays a game, and I don't have a Game Boy Color game, so we do need to list that eventually when I can get a game for it. Anyway, I'm thinking I might start with, I don't know, I think I'll start with these. I think I'll start with all the with the video games, because they have a little bit more money in them. Then we can get those listed as we're doing these. So I'll clean the office and get these guys refurbished. Then after that, I will refurbish these when listing these, and it'll all work pretty efficiently, I think. So with that in mind, let's flip the JFJ on. We've got our compound ready. We'll lock some discs in and start running them. Let's actually take a quick second, guys, before we start to talk about GameCube games. A lot of people ask, can you run these through the JFJ? The answer is yes, I've had success with it. They do a good job. The problem is if you run them over and over again, you're only going to use up like half of the disc or the pad here. So the trick, if you want to run GameCube games, is one of two things. Either get a separate pad that you use just for GameCube games. We don't really refurbish enough or in any sort of order to call for that. In my station, I don't like switching things out. So instead what I do is I'll do like one GameCube game, and then I'll do like two of another game. And then I'll just slide it in the pile here. I'll do another one. That way it doesn't wear down the pad too much, and I can kind of just separate them out here. I'll put another one here. Maybe I'll go another two back. I'll put another one here. And that way when I go through and refurbish, I'll just grab from the top of this pile, and we'll just be using them intermittently so they don't actually do any damage to the pad, because if we run one side of the pad down too much, it's going to cause uneven resurfacing, which is never good. So that's my goal there, nice and simple, and now we're ready to go. Okay guys, well I just finished work on all of the video games now, so all these loose games have been refurbished. I had a pile over here that were, even after being refurbished, still had some bad scratches, but I'm just going to go ahead and list these guys as scratch because they are working, and some of them are valuable. I think that's like a $10 game. There's Ratchet and Clank. That one's like a $20 game. So there's some money in those. A couple GameCube games there as well. And I've just started on the movies, which is what you hear going on in the JFJ. So I'll keep going with the movies here, and I'll update you guys when we're done with those. All right, guys, with some more time and work, we have now finished up with all the refurbishing for all these items. We have all the movies done. It looks like about 30 to 40 there that we'll be able to list. We've got 2 PlayStation 1 games there in the case. We've got maybe another 25 loose discs there, so with some GameCube games, then those ones I'm going to list as scratched but working. So now it just calls for me to have a little bit of a long photo session here with the camera, make sure we get all this stuff photographed, and then we'll go on to listing it. Guys, the photographing is now finished. I've boxed them all up here in V127. Actually, I forgot to put the labels on, but I do have them all photographed here. All the loose games are behind us. I've got a pile of them here, as well as these ones that I actually wrote scratch, so we know when we're pulling them that those are the ones with the scratches, because we're going to describe them like that. All the photos are on this little SD card right there. I'm going to plug it into the computer and get these guys all drafted up. Okay, guys, well, a couple hours have passed. We have all of those listings up, and it ended up being a total of 69 items for just under 350 bucks. The movie prices definitely brought that average down. We were below a $5 average per item. But even still, I think we did pretty well with these items. Again, it was just for a day's work, basically, not even like basically half a day's work to get all that stuff refurbished and listed, photograph listed, the entire spiel. So that's not bad. Normally we're doing about half as much work for twice as much stuff. That stuff took a little bit longer than normal, but we got it done, and that's great. So we're going to be able to start on moving over the DVDs from our other store into Well Play Games over the next coming week. We've got about 600, 700 of them there. It shouldn't take too long. They're all already like clean and tested. They just need to be rephotographed and moved over. The reason we're doing that is because we want to shut down our second store. We want to just pay one store subscription. We figure why not bring on the extra listings, help boost some extra traffic to the store, and see if that helps in terms of just our daily listing as well. So we'll bring that extra stuff on. Take a pause on buying video game lots for about a week here, and then we're going to move on and hit it hard here going into Christmas. Sales have been really good. Listings have been really good. Everything's been just rocking and rolling right now, but we want to be able to take it up that next step so we can really start to increase the amount of sales. We're getting the consistency now. We're getting, spikes and we're getting big days, but if we want to make this thing huge and blow it up, we really need to actually get more stuff in. Right now, we're doing an average of about 20 items a day listed on the platform. So I'm not talking about drafts here. We drafted 70 things today. Might not draft anything tomorrow. Might do 100 the next day. So drafts are inconsistent, but the listing, what's being pumped out, because we have a draft bank of like 200 items, 300 items right now. What's being pumped out is consistent, 20 a day on average. We want to bump that up 30, 40, 50 items a day, eventually get up to the 100 items a day mark. Do that for a couple of years. We'll build up a massive store if assuming the sales sustain. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes, but that's kind of the long-term goal, and I'll make a longer video in the set about this. With that said, guys, so we are going to wrap things up here for a day. We were able to ship out some really good sales and get all that stuff listed, which is exactly what I wanted to accomplish. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to go below, smash the like button, leave any comments, questions, concerns down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll see you guys all in the next video.